Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 197 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today we've got a great show in store for you. We have an amazing craftsman that's at 1923 in Vickery Place you're going to love when we feature.
And in our second segment today, we're going to talk about the realities of the market, pricing, where are house prices going?
It's amazing, and it is what everyone talks to. It doesn't matter where I go, who I'm talking to, they all want to know what's happening. So this will be really great for you and for everybody you talk to. Well, it's great to have you back because I will tell you that running this show by yourself, that is a lot of talking that you have to do. And it's always great to have you here because you're so good at it. So you were overseas. We took and had 3 photos from you last week. What was your favorite thing what you were doing over there?
I think the London Eye was probably my most favorite thing because the London Eye is, you do not call it a Ferris wheel. The London Eye is the circular observatory that they have that goes around like this with the big glass cars on it.
Okay.
And it's really amazing because you have a 360-degree view. You have your, 120 feet in the air, or even, no, it's more than that, but it takes you about 40 minutes to go all the way around one revolution.
Do they have, so do you get refreshments when you get on?
No, you can take them on with you.
Oh,
if
you can?
want. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of
Yeah, the cars are big enough for like probably 10 people, 12 people to stand or sit in.
What's the ticket cost?
About $30.
Wait, you stand the whole time? You don't sit?
No, you can stand. But if you want to sit, the center of it is a seating place.
Very cool.
So yeah, it's fun. You really don't want to sit because you want to see everything that's there. But I've never been to London before, so it was new from that experience.
Yeah.
It was a very different experience than we thought it was going to be because the Queen died a few days before we left to go. So the city was, in that 10-day mourning period. It had just started when we arrived.
Yeah.
And the funeral was going to be the day after we left.
Gosh.
So the timing, it was just a very different experience, but it was lovely, absolutely lovely.
Oh, lovely, was it?
Lovely.
Sounds very British of you. Goodness, that's great. Well, this weekend I kind of had a nice slow Saturday and got to do some ceramics. And so I thought I would share with you all something that I have created. So this is actually, I made the mold of that vessel, and I cast all the little elements and made the little letters as well and put them on there. And this is the unfired, we call this a greenware. So it'll be interesting to see what it all turns out. Once it's fired, I'll bring it in and show you.
Is that a solo cup?
It's not solo, that is not what that means.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
You gonna glaze it red?
No, we're not going to glaze it red. It is not going to be like that. So anyway, good weekend overall. The weather was amazing, and it looks like we're on track for some really great weather. Speaking of greatness, let's talk about the market watch now. This is really interesting because last week we saw that we had a really slowdown in the coming soons. And again, that's a looser market indicator because not everyone has to use it. It is not a required field. And it was up 45% at 77 units, which is really interesting because it was down 23 the week before. Also, new listings, active listings that have just come on the market in the Dallas County area, up 4% to 456 units. And once a contract goes into, once it is executed, buyers and sellers have this option period, and that's down 7% in the number of units to 316.
Coincidentally, the number of pendings is down 7% also, down to 156 pending contracts. Pending is when it goes from option period and really everything is completed in terms of you're really just kind of waiting on closing at that point. Solds, coincidentally, had zero change. There in the week over week, there were still 323 closings last week.
That is interesting. And one of the little things that we kind of like to dive down into this is when we look at both the contracts that are in the option period, the median days that it took them to get there was 19, and the average was 30. And that's because the difference in that's so great is because there was one house that took 148 days to go into contract.
Wow. That
being said, that's still a pretty aggressive absorption rate that we have here in Dallas.
And mortgage rates are up this week, which we all kind of anticipated. The Fed raised their short-term rate by 75 basis points, which we were in talking to Jeremy and his team. They felt like that price increase was already kind of built in, but we did see rates go up last week just from some other external things that happened in the marketplace.
So interesting times. They are a change. And Jeremy's did say he think that things might change out. He said that, what was it, that the European securities had caused the disturbance and it had trickled over into the American as well. So
Interesting.
we'll see what happens, won't we? So this house that we're going to talk about this week is going to be 5531 Willis Avenue, and this is in Vickery Place. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, and it is an amazing area of Dallas.
Really a great area, super convenient to whether it's business travel you have to do, if it's leisure travel, if it's just getting out and getting around. There are a lot of things in the area. Great access to 75, which can put you downtown. It can put really one of the great cross streets in Dallas is Northwest Highway. So, many times instead of going through Mockingbird through Highland Park, I'll zip up to Northwest Highway, come over and come back down.
And again, it's like Jeff was saying, it's got easy commute. The airports are really close by as well, which makes, Dallas living so easy, whether you're grabbing a flight from Southwest Love or you're headed out of American Airlines with DFW. You've got so many different options. So commuting, super easy. And in this area of Dallas, there is a lot of things to do. And so we're going to point out a couple of things that we think are our favorites. And the first one is a restaurant there called the Old Monk. Old Monk is amazing. And this time of year, this is perfect for football and when it gets cool, just chilling out on this bar.
This bar's been around 25 plus years. And would you believe I've still never been to it?
What?
I know. It's crazy. I hear great things about it all the time. Y'all go there quite a bit.
You have homework.
Okay. I'll do it by next week.
Oh my gosh. Yes, go there. This is a great place. It is a staple, great area. And really, again, Old Monk, great beer, and a really unique selection of beer.
And in Lower Greenville Avenue area, there are a lot of places you could spend time. One of my favorite places down there is called the Truck Yard. Truck Yard is an open air bar and outdoor. They've got these really great Philly cheesesteak sandwiches there. You also can go to HD Supply Company, which is right across Greenville Avenue. I know that they've got a really good lunch. We've been there a couple of times for, I can't remember the drink, that frozen
Double
drink.
Under.
Oh my God, that frozen drink they serve on the rooftop is.
And when you're done with it, head over to Wabi House. And if you like ramen, again, I feel like I've picked everything that's like cold weather. This place is great, and they have an amazing broth that is only available in the evenings, and it's some pork-based one. You've got to try it. You will not be disappointed with this one.
And the St. Patrick's Patty's Day Parade also runs right down Greenville Avenue. The starting point up north on Blackwell Avenue comes right down Greenville Avenue. People congregate there. People start drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning. I know that there have been 4 or 5 years that I've had friends that have called and said, hey, you gotta get me.
That was not me, though.
No, it was not you.
Also down there is the Vickery Place Conservation District. And we wanted to point this out because this isn't a conservation district, but it's really great because there's a lot of events that they hold that really help you get to meet your neighbor. I think one of the big ones coming out is National Night Out, which is going to be October the 4th. This is a really great time to meet your neighbor. And again, this is one of those neighborhoods that's walkable, Norman Rockwall-ish. Just, it is everything that you would want.
And one of the other things that we wanted to bring up about this neighborhood is just the walk score. This is a great walk score for what is considered to be an urban neighborhood like that.
Absolutely. It's got scores like a 70 on this, I think. But then we've also got additional information here that kind of features elements that are even more specific and granular that kind of show you how close all of the other things are. So Neighborhood Eats, this is 272 restaurants within 5 miles of you. And there you can see on the right-hand side there, we're going to break them down from American all the way down to steaks. It is super easy to eat over there.
It really is. And then there are so many things that are just within a half a mile of your home. Medical, coffee, gas, gym, ATMs, movie theaters, pharmacies, cleaners, groceries. It's all right there.
And when you're ready to get out, take a look at the great outdoors here. We've got the Katy Trail, which is really close by. You also have Mutt's, which is a great place. And I will tell you, we have many friends that take their dog and go meet other people. I think this could be the equivalent of online dating with the dog.
It's probably pretty close.
So
Clyde Warren Park is also down there. They've got the new fountain, the $23 billion fountain that was just opened.
I haven't seen it yet. I think the drone needs to go take a visit.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah,
needs to.
we'll see if we can do that.
Sounds good. So let's go ahead and jump into this. This is 5531 Willis Avenue, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. Little over 1,400 square feet, and it is amazing.
So this home was built in 1923, but completely renovated in 2019 and 2020. They have taken this house really, I mean, they started at the foundation and worked their way up. There was some work that was done by structural foundation repair, which was a reset and a reshim, and they did get an engineer's report that confirms all of that work.
And in this neighborhood, this front porch is amazing. As you can see there, they've got a little card table set up. I feel like this would be an actual porch that gets used on the regular, especially on the weekends.
And hardwood floors in this just really give it that 1920s feel. This is a really wonderful neighborhood with the big windows, a lot of charm in these homes. The rooms, I think, have really good sizes on them. This home was kind of the perfect size home in that neighborhood to me.
Perfect. And it was done so well because you've got little nuances that you don't think about. Back in the day, they didn't have can lights. Everything was a lamp. Here, they've gone through, redone all the lighting fixtures, so it is so perfect for right now. One of the great elements is that it does have a combination where it opens up and creates a living and dining area that also goes all the way into the kitchen.
And I like how they've turned this bar in this one, where they didn't do the traditional, bring the bar around and kind of block entry into the kitchen, but the island fits just perfectly in there.
Yep, and this, I love that you can sit 4, 6, put a leaf in. You can sit 8 to 10 in this. Easy for entertaining holidays if they're the high holidays, or just sitting around playing cards with your friends. But it is a very, very easy livable house. This one, as you can see from these pictures, they've done an amazing job with the kitchen. From the color palette, I love the material that they're using on the island right here, because a lot of times we see it highlighted and featured by using a different countertop or a different paint on the cabinets, but here they've used an actual different type of wood.
And they've got the brass pulls throughout. These are all soft close drawers. When you open up the cabinetry, the cabinetry there, those have the roll-out trays in them. So access to anything you've got in the back is super easy. I love the fact that they've kind of given you the built-in bar area here.
I love that also. You can see right there on the other side of this area, the refrigerator is built in so that it's covered and you don't see it. It doesn't stand out in small spaces. That's a really key element that just makes everything look that much more harmonious. Really great job with the backsplash, carrying that countertop all the way up. And again, nice, light and bright.
And this is the master bedroom on the back of the home. Really big windows. You've got louvered blinds, which I think are just kind of add a little bit of prettiness to the room. I don't know. It's kind of a delicate feature that I think kind of balances the masculinity.
Well, that was actually the first bedroom that was at the front of the house. This is the second bedroom, and so they're all down the hall, which is really easy. One of the things that I think that makes this house so much special, and you don't realize it, is how much natural light we get in this one. And between these two bedrooms, they've also renovated this bathroom and done such a great job. It's really hard to see, but that's a Carrara tile marble on the floor that is in a really cool, it's not a herringbone, it's more of a checkered pattern. And then they've accented it both in complementary countertops and then the black in the shower.
And this is the master bedroom with the windows facing out onto the backyard. It still has the louvered blinds on it, or the velour blinds. I do like how they've traded the ceiling in this to give it a little bit more volume in the ceiling. They have done an amazing job with the master bath.
Yeah, this master bathroom for me, I think that this is where renovation projects really kind of sometimes fall apart. They don't put enough into it. And you can see here that this is not just your typical white sculptural tub, but yet has a nice black detailing all the way around in high gloss. It carries through with the fixtures, as you see in the shower, how they're black. Here, the sink faucets are also in the same manner. I love faucets that come out of the wall versus coming out the countertops. It's just kind of one of those design elements that just makes a house finish off. We didn't show it here, but there's also a really great closet that's been really well appointed it is spot on.
Supersized backyard, 2-car garage, plenty of outdoor space there for entertaining. Fire pit looks like it would go just beautifully out in that backyard.
So I don't know if we said it earlier enough, but this is a 50 by 156 lot, which is really great. I believe it's just under 1/4 of an acre, but it has mature trees on it. You can see they've done a great job. I'm not 100% when the actual flat work here was poured, but as you can see, you have a little hammer that's really great for backing into and out of. And one of the great things that Debbie did, she's a listing agent on this, is she actually has uploaded the actual floor plan, so it helps a buyer look at it and really get a perspective in completion. So this is 5531 Willis Avenue, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, built in 23, and it is 1453 square feet, priced at $775, and that's $533 a foot.
That's great. And so there are links below if you'd like to take a look at this home, see the pictures that we didn't get the opportunity to use. If you would like to get more information about the house, please reach out to us. If you want to tour it, certainly reach out to us and we will make that happen. And with that, we'll be right back. Did you know there are a lot of ways you can keep up with us? For starters, every Wednesday at noon, we host Sold with Updike Pew, live from our Facebook and YouTube channels. Our show is dedicated to featuring some of the best homes in the Dallas market and about sharing timely information about market trends. But don't worry if you miss the show, because you can always listen to them on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify.
Still want more? Follow us on Instagram, where you get a first-hand look at what it's like to be a realtor. And it's not always previewing homes for clients or getting them ready to go live in MLS. Lastly, visit our website and you'll be able to create a custom home search tailored specifically to your wants and needs that's timely and accurate. Whether it's square foot, location, or the neighborhood, we have you covered.
If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, we can help with that too. Just visit homeprice.fyi, enter a few pieces of information like your home address, and we'll email you a price. When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second segment, episode 197, Sold with Updike Pew. I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh.
And today's topic was going to be the realities of home pricing. I think I named it a little differently, which was, what in the heck's going on with prices?
Well, we did say that last week because I think that this is on everyone's mind right now. Whether they're buyers or sellers or just curious about what's happening, this is a conversation that everyone is asking about. I don't care if you're getting your haircut or you're ordering a coffee. Everybody knows and wants to ask us what's happening.
Well, and you know, the slowdown in the market it's always a period of concern, because you know, people that own property want to make sure that their values stay up. People that are interested in buying want to know if it's the right time for them to buy, and people that, you know, are selling want to know if it's the right time to sell.
Yeah. And so what we here have is some statistical data that makes this a little easier, less sensationalized than you see in some of the headlines. And so we're just going to kind of drill it down, take off the fluff, and talk about what is happening. And again, we're talking about from counties, but know that what we really like to do in areas that you're interested in, we like to drill down and pull out, whether it's zip codes, school districts, high rises. We like to get granular and give you the best information we can.
Real estate's local.
Always local, just like the weather.
So the first slide we're going to talk about today is comparing June 22 to August 22. This is really basically the beginning of summer to the end of summer, with the percentage change in the closed sales average price.
Yep, and so what we see here on the far left-hand side is the maroon, and that shows you all of Netris, and that's down 5.8%. And as we move across that, the blue one in the middle, that's Dallas County, and again, that's down 14.8%.
And that's comparing. And one of the things that we have to keep in mind about talking about the average sales price is that it only takes one or two really big sales to potentially skew that average sales price.
Yep, and it's like we've gone in from June to August from a market where we were aspirationally pricing homes to now we're really trying to figure out what is the true price. We're not having to think price plus 10.
Yes. And so the next slide that we're going to talk about is the list to sale price and how that has changed from the beginning of summer this year until kind of the end of summer just a month or so ago. And if you look across all the Netris counties combined, right now we are about 98.8% of what list price is. That's what homes are selling for. Where if you compare that the June of, I'm sorry, but that was just August. But if you're comparing it to June of this year, that was 102% of list price. So the houses were going 2.3% on average over what they were listed at.
And Dallas County itself was just 99.3%. And so it's not that the sky is falling, because 99.3% is just 0.7% off of 100% of list price. And as we talked about in the first half of the show, when we were talking about Market Watch, days on market, the average can be 30 to 16. So again, you're going to hear Jeff and I say it over and over again. Real estate is specific, very geographically specific.
It really is. And price appreciation is another component that we wanted to talk about. So this compares August 2021 to August 2022. Again, the closed average sales price of the home. Comparing those two dates, all of Netris, the price is up over the course of that year about 13.6%. Collin County is up about 18.8%. Dallas County was a solid 10% up year over year from last year.
And this is just incredible, because I remember when I first got in the market that we always talked about that Dallas typically only appreciated 2 to 3%. And now we're talking about 10% in 1 year. And that's not just, that's 1 year. And you look back and we've appreciated each year for so long. So that is one of the interesting things to see, that we have this, and that we also are seeing prices slightly decline from June to August.
So the next slide that we're going to talk about is comparing the last 3 years. So we're going to go back to August of 2019 versus August of 2022. And if you look at MLS, just the whole MLS Netris combined, the value or the average sales price is up almost 48% over the course of those 3 years. Collin County is up almost 60% over the course of those 3 years. And Dallas County is up almost 40% over the course of those 3 years.
So if we know that last year was 10%, and the other two, you take that away, and you've still got 30% left over, 29 and change. That is a huge appreciation. Huge.
Yeah. So even a slowdown in the pace of sales, which tends to cause the frenzy of the pricing not quite be so frantic.
Right.
It if I were looking at at a home that I've owned at least for the last 3 years and think, oh my gosh, my value's gone up 30% in the last 3 years, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and one of the things that I think that we hear a lot of times sellers are trying to figure out when to put their house on the market, and they're afraid that maybe they're putting on the market and they're leaving money on the table, and that's really not the case that's happening right now. Prices have just normalized, and if you think about it, 70% of today's sellers are going to be buyers in the future, and if you think about that, you're not having to pay 2%, 3%, even more over list price, because that was really the weird part about bidding in the last 18 months is you never knew who had cash and who was so sick of bidding that they were going to go bananas on something.
That's true. So if I were a seller right now and knowing that I'm going to be buying in the same market I'm selling in, chances are you're not going to be paying that 102% when you're buying.
Right, you're not going to get caught really having to stretch yourself and really dip into all of that cash savings.
And one of the really good things that's different about today's market is the homeowner equity. So if you look at September 1 of 2021, homeowner equity was at the high of 70.1%. And so this chart really shows you what would the market look like if the price were to decline by 10% and what if it were to decline by 20%.
Yeah, and I think one of the headlines here that I don't think is sensationalized is that we have $29 trillion in home equity right now. And that's amazing. So if you take and look at what if your house decreased in value by 10%, so let's say if you look on the right-hand side of this, 67.2% would be a decrease of 10%, and you then draw your imaginary line over to where it intersects with the red line, I think that gets us all the way, what they say, to like 1987. That's how long ago. And if you do the same thing for down 20%, which would be 63.1%, you would have to go all the way back to 2005. So we are sitting in a very, very healthy spot right now. Something completely different than when we saw it in 2008 and 9 when the economy collapsed because of real estate. If we're in an inflationary status, home is staying stable. It right now is the backbone of the economy, as it should be.
Yes, it is. So I hope that you found this helpful. The numbers are always really interesting to us. We do like to make this very granular because real estate is local. So if you have any information that you'd like to have further than this, just reach out to us. If you'd like us to narrow these stats down to whatever neighborhood you have, we would be happy to do that for you.
And just remember, we want to be realtors for life.
When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.